Hey everyone, welcome to the 3 by the Sea Designs YouTube channel. Welcome to another episode of the 3 by the Sea Designs podcast. My name is Kim and I have a shop with my mom Dreama and my sister Becky called 3 by the Sea Designs. It's an online shop where we have things that we make for knitters and crocheters like hand-dyed yarn, project bags, stitch markers, notions, things like that. And this podcast is all about our shop and things that we're working on, as well as things that I'm knitting and crocheting, and just general 3 by the Sea Designs life. So thanks for checking it out. This is episode 57. So welcome if you're new, and welcome back if you are a returning viewer. I have lots to share with you today, so let's go ahead and get started. We do have our shop linked below in the description box on Etsy. We're also on social media. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook. Here, obviously, we try to post regular videos, things like when we have shop updates. We try to keep you as informed as possible, but definitely, I think we're most active on Instagram. So definitely follow us on Instagram for all of the latest. And today is Thursday, April 17th, 2025, and this is episode 57. About 2 weeks ago, we had a shop update where we did a Star Wars collection, a Star Wars inspired collection, and you guys are huge Star Wars fans. I guess even if you're not a Star Wars fan, you would like this collection if you like fun, bright, neon-y kind of yarns, because that's the two new colorways that we had in the shop. And we sold out of the fingering weight sock sets on our Sanibel base, but we decided to add more because of the pattern that came out as well. So we wanted you to be able to make the Saber Socks pattern with the Saber's Glow yarn if you wanted to. So I will show you what we have left in the shop. I'm not going to show every single base, but I will go through quickly the different colorways, and you guys can go check out the shop, see what we have left on each base, because not everything is available on all the bases. So this is Saber's Glow. I can't wait to see all of the fun things that you guys make with this colorway. It is a lightsaber inspired colorway with all of the different colors like neons that are found in the lightsabers from Star Wars. And there's some blacks and grays mixed in here as well. So we had Saber's Glow. We also added more of our Stark Raven Mad colorway, which is a great complement to Saber's Glow if you're looking for some good contrast. It's a great colorway on its own as well. I was really surprised at how many of you liked this yarn because it is so dark. Typically people don't like to work with the darker yarn because it's harder to see when you're knitting and crocheting. However, this one was very popular, so much so that we had to restock it. So as you can see, it's definitely almost a semi-solid, I would say. It does have some tonal parts to it where you see lighter and darker shades of the black. But we didn't dye it at a super dark saturation level because we wanted it to be on the lighter side of the black, so that it is easier for you to knit with. Plus, it's just a very pretty black color. It's neutral. You could wear it with pretty much anything. So that is Stark Raven Mad. That has been restocked on all the bases. And then we have a few of Space Princess left. I did add a couple more sock sets, like fingering weight sock sets, because we had some extra minis left over. So I added a few more sock sets. on our fingering weight, but we also have some DK weight sock sets in both colorways, the Saber's Glow and Space Princess. Space Princess is so fun. It's purples and pinks and like a really cool shade of blue, like an iris blue, and it's got, of course, this pink and gray mini with it. It's such a fun colorway. I really enjoyed knitting with both of these colorways, but especially with this one for the pair of socks that I just made. I absolutely loved using this yarn. It was so fun. This would make such a great garment, hat, sweater, cardigan, socks, anything really. This would be such a cool colorway to use. So that is Space Princess. So those were the 3 that we just added. We do have some of our Cheshire Cat sock sets left. This comes with 2 50-gram minis in pink and purple, and also 2 20-gram minis in pink and yellow. This is a tribute to the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. And these colors go very well with Space Princess. So you could use the pink or the purple with Space Princess, and the purple would also go with Saber's Glow. So you've got lots of options here if you wanted to make some kind of cool shawl with multiple colors. I mean, it's all kind of, and in the right project, Becky and I were talking about this, in the right project, you could actually use these 2 together because there's a lot of Space Princess colors in Saber's Glow. Like in this section here with the pinks, or I'm sorry, with the purples and the black and the gray, they all complement each other. So I think in the right project, these 2 could be used together, especially if you had the black like in between them or something. The possibilities are endless with these. So definitely check those out. Like I said, there's not a lot left on each base, so go see what we've got left. Now we do still have some Lily Pond also. The sock sets I believe sold out, the fingering weight sock sets, but I think we have some singles left on our fingering weight base, and then we may have, I think we have some DK weight sock sets left as well. So Lily Pond is absolutely gorgeous. I have plans to make a Musselburgh hat out of this colorway. I'm probably not going to start it yet, maybe later in the year, but I definitely want to make a Musselburgh hat out of this colorway. So I saved one out for me for that. But it's a beautiful mix of blues and teals and greens and purples and pinks. It's absolutely stunning. It's one of our best sellers. So we have a few of those left as well. The only thing we have left of Tea in Wonderland, you guys loved that colorway, is this on our Surrey. And I think we may only have one of these. This is our lace weight Surrey Alpaca Silk Blend. It's such a fun color. And this would be so cool to use with something. I mean, you could pair it with Pink Sapphire. We have some of Pink Sapphire in the shop. How cool would that be to alternate those in some kind of project? That would be gorgeous. You could use it with tea or with the Cheshire Cat. That would be something really, really beautiful. Such fun spring colors in this. And there's only one of these left, and I'm pretty sure that's it for Tea in Wonderland. We do have some other tonals in the shop. I will go over some of them in a little while when I show you a project that I am wanting to make. I found a pattern that uses DK weight, like 1 or 2 skeins of DK weight, and I absolutely love the pattern. So I wanted to show that to you guys in a little while. So that's it for what's currently in the shop. We also have some stitch markers and some notions. We have a few scissors left. We have some progress keepers. We have like spring themed things, some needle stoppers as well. So don't forget to check out the notions when you go look at the yarn. I wanted to touch on the pattern just a little bit that we just released. This is the Saber Socks pattern. And thank you so much to everyone who has purchased this pattern. It is available in our Etsy shop for you to purchase and download. And so many of you have already ordered it. So thank you so much. I can't wait to see the creations that you like, what yarn you use, and everyone's projects. I can't wait to see them. So if you did purchase it, thank you so much, and definitely check it out. It's such a fun sock to make. There's this textured section down the leg that was again inspired by lightsabers. It reminded me of the battles that the lightsabers go through in the movies. And it also has a different type of heel. It's an eye of partridge heel, and it's like almost like a diamondy pattern. And I thought it looked really pretty with this pattern. So these two mirror each other. There's sock 1 and sock 2. And the way that the texture is positioned, they mirror each other on each side. And I only put this texture on a section of the sock. I did it for multiple reasons. This stitch patterning creates a very stretchy fabric. So I didn't want it to go across the whole front of the sock, because it would have probably made the socks too wide and too stretchy. But I also thought it just looked, because you know the style and fashion in Star Wars is very unique and eclectic and sometimes strange. And so I thought it looked kind of cool. It was like an ode to the fashion of Star Wars, how every planet's representatives always have different fashion. So I just thought that looked kind of cool and unusual to have it down just a portion of the leg. So I highly recommend going and checking out the pattern. And again, I can't wait to see what everyone has made, what yarn you pick, and the socks. And if you're not even making the socks but using the Saber's Glow colorway, what you decide to make with it. We are looking forward to that. I do have some exciting news about wholesale opportunities. We posted on our social medias that we are opening up limited spots for wholesale. So if you are a yarn store and you are interested in wholesaling our yarn, please reach out to us. Email us at 3bytheseadesigns@gmail.com and let us know you're interested in wholesaling, and we can send you over an info sheet that will explain our wholesale process. We're just starting out with this. We've done a few wholesale things already, but we are just dipping our toes in the water of wholesale, and we are finally ready to begin taking on wholesale orders on a larger scale. So if you have a yarn shop nearby you and you want to see our yarn in your local yarn shop, then definitely comment down below and let us know the name of your local yarn store, and we will reach out to them and see if they're interested, and we'll let them know that they have customers who would like to see our yarn in their shops. So we are looking forward to that next sort of chapter of our small business, and I think it's going to be exciting to see our yarn in shops all over the country and perhaps even outside of our country. We are also working on and are almost finished with our website. We have been working on developing our website for quite some time now. Right now we're on Etsy, but we would like to transition over to our own website. So we're hoping by sometime in June that will be up and running. It won't be for our summer collection because our summer collection is May and there's just not enough time. Plus, we don't want to launch our website during an update because everything's crazy during an update as far as like a lot of traffic to our site. So we want it to be during one of our months where there's not a big update. So we're shooting for June to have our website up and running, and we are working hard to get it exactly how we want it. We know what we want, and we're working on it. It's a lot of work. There are a lot of work to start your own website. So we're working with someone that's developing it for us. So we're very excited. And when it does launch, I will do a full deep dive into it here on the channel. I'll do a special video just for it and kind of put it up on the screen and talking at the same time. I'm looking forward to showing you all of the ins and outs of the website. We're going to have some exciting interactive things involved in the website. So that is coming soon. And I did talk about the summer collection a little bit, that it will be in May. We will have new yarn, some returning colorways, and some returning project bags, as well as some brand new stuff. And we're bringing out a mystery colorway that we had last year. We're bringing it as an in-stock colorway. I will talk all about that later on in May when we get closer to the collection update, but it will be towards the end of May will be our summer collection. If you are following us on Instagram and watch our stories, we have been teasing something that is very exciting that we are going to be bringing to you guys. So many of you have already guessed what it is. It has to do with Christmas, and it has to do with something that knitters and crocheters love to do at Christmas time. So a lot of you have already guessed what it is, but I will just say that a big announcement is coming soon in regards to that. It's something that you guys have been asking us for years now, and we are very, very beyond excited to bring it to you. But more on that very soon. Probably on the next podcast, I will reveal what we are bringing to you guys for Christmas. So many of you purchased our Peter Rabbit inspired mystery set that you just received in the last couple of weeks. We shipped them out at the very beginning of April, so I'm hoping everyone has already gotten their Peter Rabbit mystery set. If you have not and you don't want to be spoiled by the colorway reveal, then you might want to fast forward this a little bit, because I'm going to show you what the colorway looked like, as well as the coordinating stitch marker that that came with it. So a couple months ago, we put up a Peter Rabbit inspired mystery set. This was the inspiration picture, and here is the colorway. You ready? So this was called Bunny in the Garden. And we are so happy with how it turned out. This was on our Sanibel base. It was a mystery, so you did not know what it looked like, but you just had an inspiration picture. It's such a great neutral, and like a neutral base with creams and browns, and then it's got all these gorgeous speckles. I'm so excited to make socks with this. I already have the pattern picked out. I'll show you that in just a moment. But so this was Bunny in the Garden. It came with this really beautiful blue Peter Rabbit colored, coat colored mini. And we asked Charmed and Dangerous to collaborate with us again on a coordinating progress keeper. She is a clay charm artist and makes the most beautiful, absolute gorgeous pieces. And so are you ready to see how adorable this charm is? Look how cute he turned out. That is Peter Rabbit, and he's holding a carrot. He's so cute, and she is so extremely talented. So I am so very happy with how all of this turned out. I can't wait to make something. I'm going to put this stitch marker on the yarn so I can show it to you. He's so cute. So I'm very happy with all of it. We got some great feedback from you guys, and you've already started making things with this yarn. So I'm hoping that you're all enjoying it. And speaking of mysteries, our next mystery will not go up until June, because next month is our shop update for summer. So we don't usually do a mystery in the same month as our shop update because we're just so busy. So we are going to put it up in June. And I already have some ideas for a theme. I don't know. We haven't nailed it down yet, but we've got some exciting things up our sleeve with the mysteries. So I just love him. He's just so adorable. Stop moving. He's so, so cute. So my plans for this yarn, I am going to make a pair of socks. And Leah Gibson just came out with a new pattern called the Egg Hunt Socks. I just purchased this today. And it's really, really cute. It's got this ruffly patterning, this ruffle at the top by the cuff. And then in my black and white picture, of course, you can't see it very well, but there is a textured section on the front of the sock, and she called it the Egg Hunt Socks. I am so excited. I've never done a ruffle like that, and I've especially not one on a cuff, and I'm just really excited to try it. I think it will look really cute with this colorway. My mailman just came, so I had to pause for a second and picked up packages for all of you lovely people. I have two different yarn new bases to show you. These are not bases that we have in the shop. These are just ones that we got from one of our suppliers because we want to have some warm weather. We want to have some type of warm weather yarn that we have for our shop. So because we live in Florida, we have a lot of Florida customers, and plus too, in the summertime, you might just want to work with cotton or linen or, some type of yarn that isn't wool, that's not going to be so warm. So we got a couple different bases from one of our suppliers, and we wanted to test them out. And I showed you that pattern that last week called the Soft Current pattern that I want to make. It's a shawl, and it's from Wool and Pine Designs. I think that's their name. Yes, Wool and Pine Design. And it uses 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn. So I was like, oh, it would be a perfect way to try out this yarn that we got to see how it knits up, because plant-based fibers like cotton and linen are completely different than wool in so many different ways. Not only is the dye process different for dyeing the yarn, completely different. You have to use different dyes, different techniques, everything. But the characteristics of the yarn are completely different as well. Cotton and linen, bamboo, things like that are plant-based, generally don't have a lot of stretch to them. They don't have a lot of memory. So working with them, knitting or crocheting with them, is a lot different of an experience than using wool. So it's not a bad experience at all. It's just completely different. So I thought it would be cool to try one of these bases with this pattern. I haven't started it yet. I'm about to. I may even cast it on today if I get time. So I dyed a few different colors. Becky and I looked through the dyes that we have because, like I was saying, you have to dye them. You have to use special dyes that are not acid-based dyes. They're called fiber reactive dyes, and they are specifically for plant-based fibers. So we were looking through our dyes, and we came up with a good variety of dyes to use. So I think for me, for this pattern, I'm going to use the linen bamboo blend that we got. So we got two different bases. One of them is 100% Pima cotton, and the other one is a bamboo linen. Let me see. It's 70% bamboo, 30% linen, and they're both fingering weight yarns. So this is what the bamboo linen blend looks like. Now I don't have an undyed skein to show you, but linen is bare yarn, like undyed wool, is like a creamy kind of off-white color, and but a lot of cotton is also creamy too. It's very light, but linen is not. Linen has a very sandy brown base color. So it always looks different when you dye it versus like a wool, like one of our other bases. So I dyed 3 skeins, even though I only needed 2 skeins of it for the project. I wanted to dye 3 just in case I needed an extra one. I don't know. I probably wouldn't have needed the 3rd one, but I went ahead and dyed 3. So this is like a very beautiful bluish gray color, almost like silvery. And you can see how much drape there is to this yarn. It is a fingering weight. It's 4 ply. It's 437 yards per 100 grams, and it's 70% bamboo, 30% linen. It's very, very, very soft. Typically, linen is not soft, but my mom told me that linen over time gets softer, especially the more you wash it. But this is very, very soft for having 30% linen in it. And that's probably because of the bamboo. The bamboo is very, very soft. And as you can see, there is somewhat of, linen always has somewhat of like a toothy look to it. It's got these little bits of wiry type little things that stick out. It's like a cool little halo that it gives it, but they're not scratchy. Becky said Becky's very sensitive to scratchy stuff, and she said this feels very soft to her and that she could wear this. So, but it's definitely, I don't even want to say it's rustic because that makes you think that it's scratchy, but it just has a rustic look to it without it being scratchy. It's very soft, and I'm very excited to work with this. So I think I'm going to use this color for the shawl. But let me show you some of the other colors that I dyed. So I've got that silvery blue color. Then we had to have a pink, of course. So here is this one. We didn't name any of them, but this is pink. Here's pink with the silver. Looks really pretty. We also have a really beautiful sort of oceany blue color. This one's gorgeous. I love it. My mom's like, what am I going to make with this? I was showing her all these yesterday. Look at these three together. This would be so pretty all together. All of these would be really pretty together. We tried to pick colors that would look good together. And then we have this one. This one surprised me how the color turned out. So the dye color is supposed to be like a reddish purple color. And it did definitely turn out purpley. But I love how some of the colors broke in this. You can see sort of some lighter and darker areas in it. I really was pleasantly surprised at how this turned out. This is what it looks like compared to the silvery blue one. But it looks so pretty with the pink and the blue, all of those together. And then the last one is this green color. This one also, the colors broke, meaning that the dye colors that they use to mix to get that final color, sometimes they can break into other colors. Like this green had broke into some yellows and almost like a brown color. And so and you can see that in the yarn where some of the color got absorbed as green and some of it got absorbed as more like a yellowy color. And I love it. I think it's so cool. Not all dyes do that. So we have the green, the silver, the purple, the pink, and the blue. Those were the 5 colors that we picked. Aren't they so gorgeous all together? I just love it. And then we have the cotton ones. Let me show you those colors. So before I show you those, I want to know, what do you guys think of this base? 70% bamboo, 30% linen. It is a fingering weight, 100 gram skeins. What would you make with this? Could you make a t-shirt or some type of summer tank top? This would be so gorgeous with something like that. So drop some ideas down in the comments if you have any on pattern suggestions, of any type of patterns, really, what you could make with this yarn. And if you're interested in us bringing this base to the shop, please let me know in the comments, because we are very seriously considering doing something like this. It was a learning curve to learn how to dye this type of yarn because it is so different from what we normally do, but it was a fun experience. And I don't know, we're excited to bring something like that to the shop. So let me show you the cotton. Okay, so this cotton base is a 100% Pima cotton. It is also a fingering weight 4-ply yarn. It is 437 yards per 100 grams. This would be perfect for a knitted tee or a tank top. This is yarn for a baby blanket or a baby sweater or a hat, something like that. It's cool to the touch. It would be perfect for summer garments or warm weather garments, because some places are warm all over the place, or all the time, I mean. So here's the first one. This turned out way lighter than I was expecting. This was the first color that I dyed. And I did read, though, that your colors are always going to be lighter. They're not going to be as like super dark or saturated. But I think that's beautiful. I love that about this type of yarn. So this is like a beautiful orange sunset color. This yarn has a sheen to it. It's kind of shiny, and it is very, very, very soft. Now, we could get this in DK weight as well, which is definitely an option. I feel like the DK would also be good to have, as well as fingering weight, because a lot of summery tees are knit in DK weight. So this is the orange color. And then we did a purple color, very light, and it looks like hydrangeas. So here's the orange with the purple. I always like seeing the colors side by side. Then we did a blue color. This is like a robin's egg blue. Beautiful, sort of light turquoise color. And this looks really pretty with them all together as well. And then this is a light, sort of dusty pink color. So gorgeous. All of these would make the most beautiful tops, tanks, tees, even like a cardigan. This would be so beautiful to have. So this is pink. Look at all of that together. And then the last one is a yellow color. These look like they reminded me of Easter eggs when I was dyeing them because of just all of the spring colors. I love this. I think this would make the most gorgeous top. So look at all 5 of them together. What could you do with all the colors? I don't even know. Isn't that gorgeous? They would all make something so, so pretty. So I think that would be cool to have the fingering weight and or the DK weight in the cotton. The bamboo linen blend only comes in fingering weight. So let me know what you guys think about both of these bases. I'm very excited to, we're definitely not done researching different yarns that we could bring to the shop that are warmer weather yarns, warmer weather friendly yarns, I guess you could say. But I'm very happy with not only how these dyed up, but how they feel, how they look, and I'm very excited to try the yarn. My mom is going to try a pattern. I don't know what she's decided on yet, but she's going to try a pattern with the cotton yarn. I think she's going to use this color, and I'm going to try the pattern with the other yarn and see how so we'll report back to you on how that goes. I have one finished object to show you, and that is my Saber Socks that I made in the Space Princess colorway. Look how pretty that looks. I hope it's focusing. I haven't washed these yet to like properly block them, but I just wanted to put them on the foot mannequin so you could see that patterning. Isn't that gorgeous? So this is what Space Princess looks like knit up. So, so pretty. I did some fun details with the contrast colors. So on the heel, I did a pop of color, and I think maybe 2 rounds of the gray, and then the rest of the cuff is in the pink. And then on the heel, I used the gray for the heel flap, and then when I got to the heel turn, I switched colors to the pink. And then for the toe, I did 1 round of pink for just a pop of color on the stripe, or a pop of color for a stripe, and then I did the rest of the toe in the gray. It looks so pretty. Lots of fun color all throughout. So I finished those either yesterday or no, maybe the day before, a couple days ago. I think it looks really, really cool with Space Princess colorway. One thing that I wanted to tell you, as far as the pattern goes, I recorded a video tutorial of not only how to do this special stitch, but also how to tink back if you mess up. I highly recommended in the video to use light bulb markers to keep track of your rounds. It's a 4-round repeat. And it helped me a lot to keep track of where I was, to know what round to be able to count and see what round I needed, like I was working on that round. If you're using a contrast color for the toe or for the cuff, you may notice when you're knitting it that this stitch tends to like pull in on itself, so it could have some puckering here at the top. See how it dips down a little bit, and here. But when you block them out, well, first of all, when I put this on my foot, you couldn't even see that at all. It completely just blocks out. But once they're washed and put on a blocker to block, or put on your foot, you will not see that puckering at all. But sometimes that can happen when you're making a patterned sock. So I just wanted you to be aware of that when you're making this pattern. So that is my one and only finished object. I love how they turned out. These are definitely going to be a sample for the shop because they're just so pretty. I can't wait to get them fully blocked and let that stitch pattern really show through. It's going to be so cool. So that's my one FO. I have 3 whips to show you. Well, 2 of them are socks. They're my DK Shorties socks, but before I show those to you, I want to show you my go-go throw. Now, this is a project that I have been working on since last April of 2024. And so I have it in my mind that you are not going to let this project go past this April, which is the month that we're in now. So I am frantically trying to get this project finished. I've shown this so many times on the podcast. This is our Mrs. Claus project bag that we had 2 years in a row, maybe at Christmas time. I love this bag. It's so cute. And this is, I'm using an Advent from Arkansas Yarn Company, and I'm making the Go-Go Throw by Ambah O'Brien. It is a lacy, it's like all lace work, and you stripe the minis. So I'm using 24 minis, plus there was a contrast color that you stripe in between every mini. I haven't loved this project. I have mixed feelings about this project. I love how it's looking, and I'm gonna absolutely love having this blanket. Well, it's basically like a blanket. It's called a throw. It's a big, huge shawl / throw. But I did not like how long it takes to make each stripe. It was one of those things that I went into it thinking, oh, I'm going to be able to do a stripe a day during Advent season, and no. So I think it was because I didn't realize that this was going to be a long-term project. I went into it with a completely different expectation. And I think that's why I was disappointed when I realized, okay, this is going to take me a long time. Now, if this was the only thing I was working on, I would have finished it a long time ago. So, now don't get me wrong. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. But it is a lot of work. And I will be very, very happy when it's done. So I'm on day 22. Let me stand up and show this to you. So I am on day 22. Day 22's mini. And last time I showed it, I was here where this progress keeper is. So I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 colors since then. I don't know how I feel about the green right there, or the red, but you know, it's an Advent. Advents are scrappy usually. So I absolutely love the Advent. I love the yarn. I really enjoyed opening the yarn, and it's on Arkansas Yarn Co.'s Stellina base. So it's very sparkly. But as you can see, that's all lace work. And each color takes a very, very long time. But I do really love it. And I'm going to be so extremely happy with this when it's completely finished. It is humongous though. It is truly like, it's basically a blanket, a throw blanket. So like I said, I'm on day 22, which means I have 2 more color. After this color that I'm on now, I will only have 2 colors left to add in. This is the color that I'm using now. It's gorgeous. So that is my progress on that. Now, next time I record, which will probably be in a couple of weeks, this will be done. I am putting it out there now in the YouTube universe that this will be finished next time. I'm just going to say that now so I commit to it and it's done. I only have 2 colors left after that. In fact, I feel motivated to just work on this now and nothing else until it's done. I may do that because I'm going to get it done. I would recommend the pattern. As far as like the pattern goes, it's easy to read. There is a chart. I don't love charts, but there is a chart if you're a chart person, but there's also written instructions as well. It's not difficult. It's just time consuming. There's no difficult stitches or anything like that. But so I would recommend it if you go into it with the expectation of this is going to take you forever. If you're okay with long-term projects or you only work on one thing, I recommend it. If you're using it during Advent season and you're wanting to complete a project during Advent season, this is not the project for you. So it just depends on what your expectations are with this. It's absolutely stunning though. I am very happy with it. But I'll also be extremely happy when it's done. So that's my go-go throw. It will be finished next time I record. Mark my words. I'm really, really motivated to get this thing done and off of the needles because it has been a year. It's been a year. It is time for this thing to be done. Okay. Do you have any long-term, like what's your oldest project? I'm very curious. When I get more than like 6 months length into a project, I start getting antsy. I don't know why. It doesn't really matter. Who cares how long it takes you? But I start to get like, oh, I really need to get that done. So how old is your oldest project? I'm very curious. And do you still work on it, or is it something that you've just put away and forgotten about, or not forgotten about, but you're just, it's in timeout? Like, I'm just very curious. I know everybody's different, so I'm curious what you guys think about long-term projects. My next work in progress is a pair of socks. It's actually 2 pairs of socks, but I'm kind of trying to do them at the same time so I can catch up. So let me explain. So I have them in this project bag a long time ago. I mean, we've had this is an old 3 by the Sea project bag, but isn't that print so cute with the sloths? I love it. So I'm using up my DK weight yarn from Avery Lane Creations. I'm trying to use it, so because I've been collecting it forever. So I decided that I was going to make DK weight socks with yarn, with all the yarn. I'm going to do 12 pairs of socks, 1 for each month. And the leftovers that I have, because I'm making shorties, the leftovers I will probably use in like a blanket or some kind of scrappy project. So that's what I've decided to do, because I was like, I've got to use all of this gorgeous yarn that I have. So let me pull out the tags. So I went through all of my Avery Lane Creations yarn and pulled out, well, I had already made the March socks. I'll put up a picture of them here. Those were a finished object last episode, and I thought they were cute for March because they were orange. And so I decided I was gonna pick a yarn for each month that was kind of themed to that month. So far, because I started this in March, I have to go back and do January and February's colorways. But I also wanted to do April's at the same time. So I decided that I'm going to do this month in April, I'm going to do 2 pair. I'm going to do April's and January's. And then next month in May, I will do May's and February's. So then starting in June, I will just have 1 pair going and I'll be caught up. I'll have January, February, March, April, and May at that point. So for the next 2 months, I'm going to be doing 2, which is fine. They're DK waist socks. They go super fast, and I'm making shorties, so even faster. So this is the first colorway. I'm still on the first sock of each one. Here's what I have so far for January. This is the yarn, and again, this is Avery Lane Creations. She has a monthly subscription that you can get, and that's how I collected all of this gorgeous yarn. This is her logo. And so this one is called, I labeled this one January, so because when I got them all out, I was like, I'm gonna have to label them for each month, otherwise I won't remember come a few months from now. So this one is called Winter Wishes. It is an 85-15 superwash merino nylon blend. It's DK, this is I guess her DK squish base. 246 yards per 100 grams. I don't know exactly when this one came out. Oh, she wrote on there, December 2023. So for these, I'm just doing like basic vanilla things for the socks. My DK, my March ones were basically just a vanilla sock, as well as these. And like I said, they're all going to be shorties. So I started these. Are these April or no? I'm looking at my yarn project log. So I started these on April 2nd, as well as the April ones I'm going to show you. And I cast on 48 stitches. I did a 2x2 ribbing, knit 2 purl 2 for 10 rounds. And then I did a few rounds on the leg. I wrote down 5 rounds. So I knit 5 rounds of just regular knitting on the leg. And then I immediately started the heel, this is a butterfly heel from K. Jones. And I'm using circulars, 9-inch circulars. I got US 3.25 millimeter 9-inch circulars, which is my favorite way to knit socks, is the little shorties. So that's where I'm at with this one. Then I started, on the same day actually, I started both of these. This is my April pair. And this one looks more like my March ones where I did a really long 2x2 cuff. I think I did 20 rounds. And then I also am doing a butterfly heel. So I'm in the same place. Look at my cute little llama. I'm through the heel on both socks and I'm just working the foot now. I'm very happy with both of these colors. I think they're very, very pretty. This one is called First Blooms. It is the same base, 8515, superwash merino nylon. This is April 2024's colorway. First Blooms. Oh, April. I didn't even, when I pulled these out, I didn't even realize that the dates were on them, but that works out perfect. April. For April's socks. Some of them will probably not be that way. So that's where I'm at with both of those. I love working on these. They're DK. They go so fast, and they're shorties. They go super quick. These would make great gifts for people. I love DK weight socks, especially shorties, because I wear socks in the house a lot. And they feel, because they're DK weight, they feel more like almost like slipper socks. So I love these a lot. I find myself grabbing my DK weight socks a lot. So hopefully I will have both of those finished as well by the end of April, so I can stay on task, on schedule. We put these weird schedules on ourselves as knitters, and it's just like, why do we do that? But I don't know. Gives us something to look forward to, I guess. Okay, what else? I have one thing of Happy Meal to show you that my mom actually bought, but I wanted to show them on the podcast. And then I have two immediate future plans that I want to show you that I'm gonna be casting on soon. On the last episode, I talked about Bethany from the Wandering Purl. She is a project bag maker, and since then she's had a shop update, and my mom actually went on and ordered from her shop update. She put in some spring prints, and she actually got a project bag for one for each of us. So there's three to show you. So Bethany, I talked about her on the last episode. She has an Etsy shop called the Wandering Purl. That is her information right there. I'll link her down below. And so these are the three prints that she had. I don't know if she had other ones as well, but these were the three that my mom got. So here is the first one. Isn't that so pretty? She got one for herself, one for me, and one for my sister Becky. And then Becky, my mom was like, you guys pick which one you want. Becky picked this one. She really liked the bunny print on it. So springy and gorgeous. These colors actually remind me of the yarn that I dyed, that cotton yarn especially. So there's that one. These are her drawstring bags. And then this is the one that I picked out. Like, if I had bought from her update, I would have probably bought this print. Isn't it beautiful? It's got a Proverbs verse on it. Proverbs 16:24. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul. Isn't that gorgeous? I absolutely love it. So that was a lovely surprise from my mom to get that. I have two patterns to share with you. Well, one of them I've already shared about. It's the Autumn Snow hat from Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. This is a free pattern, and it's just a simple fingering weight hat. She shows you how to stripe in a contrast color here. And there's this cute little tassel at the top that I kind of like, pom-pom tassel thing that I thought would be cute. So I've talked about this in the past, that I wanted to use our Wicked set our mystery set we came out with earlier this year. And I can't decide for the life of me how I want to do it. So I'm gonna cake this up and sort of play around with some color ideas, as far as, do I want to use like green with green, or do I want to use pink with the green and then do another pink? I have enough to make two hats. So this is gonna get caked up and cast on soon. And then my other future plans, which this is what I was talking about at the very beginning, where I wanted to show you some of the DK weight yarn. Laura Penrose just came out with the Jacques scarf. I hope I'm saying that right. Jacques scarf. And you can't really tell from here what it looks like. Let me see if I can show you here. So it's a DK weight scarf. There, that's a good picture of it. It's a DK weight scarf, and it is, you can use, I think, 2 colors. I think you use 2 colors. And in fact, one of her samples, it says she used a cotton DK. That's interesting. I think you could use 2 skeins of DK weight yarn to make this. I think it would take more than 1. Plus you have that contrast with the colors. I'll put a picture of it here. So, it just looked like a fun way to use some DK weight yarn. You could use a tonal with a variegated colorway. That might look kind of cool. Or you could use 2 tonals, which is what I want to do. I immediately thought of black and gold because we have both of those colors. Let me show you what they would look like together. I think that would look really, really cool together in that scarf. There's some, I want to say she said double knitting and intarsia, and I've done neither of those things, so that was kind of a cool way to challenge myself with learning some new techniques. And I thought this would be such a cool color combo to try with it because they're very high contrast. We do have some other DK weight skeins in the shop that I wanted to share that would look really cool. So you could use Bluebird with Raven. You could use Lagoon with Raven. That would look really, really cool. You could even use Saber's Glow with Raven. That would look really cool. You could use, we have Totally Teal. You could use that with Raven, or you could even use that with gold. That would look really pretty. That would be a cool combo. You could use these 2 together. This is Starfish and Totally Teal. You could use these together, that together. There's only 1 Starfish on DK left. There's a couple of each of the other ones that I showed. We also have Cheshire Cat on DK. You could use this combination with, any of this really. Black and pink, black and purple would look cool together. Lagoon would look good with these. Teal, ooh, that would look really pretty. So you definitely have options there for that scarf pattern. I feel like sometimes DK tonals get overlooked, but on a project like this would be a perfect way to use up those tonals. So I'm thinking I'm going to do this combo for this pattern. She's got it rolled up. It looks like a croissant. But it's perfect. And even though it's DK weight, it's so small and lightweight, it would be perfect for Florida. So the gold, I don't know if I showed that together, but the gold and the teal would look really pretty. All right, is that all I have to share with you? I think so. So I hope you're all doing well. Please leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know. I know I asked a bunch of questions this time, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on the yarn that I showed earlier, the cotton and the linen and the bamboo. I'd love to know some pattern suggestion ideas. I would really like this summer to make a summer tee with those yarns. Some form of those yarns, one or the other. I can't wait to get started on my soft current shawl and some of these other projects that I've been talking about. So I'm looking forward to sharing those with you the next time that I record, which will probably be in 2 weeks again. So I hope you're all doing well. I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment and let me know how you're doing. I really enjoy interacting with you that way. If you have any questions, you can always send us an email or send us a message or leave a comment, and we would be happy to try to answer any questions that you may have. All right, take care, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.